Get ready. Get set. It's time for the Basement View.
Well, hey, how's it going? I think we might have a little buffering going on. It's one of those things. Gonna have to deal with it today. Don't know what happened and why it's doing it. We'll get past it, I guess. Don't know what's going on. By the way, it's me. And we gonna get over this. Hey, James, what's up? Don't know what's going on. Maybe the internet lagging today. A lot of doggone traffic probably today. I'm gonna try to get through this. Well, we know what's going on out there on Capitol Hill. This thing is buffering. I see it. Don't know why. Maybe today it's going to take a little longer. I don't know. By the way, we know what happened on Capitol Hill today. The Democrats let us down. They voted to... Oh, hey, Ronnie, windy outside? Huh. You know what? Weather conditions could have something to do with it. Yeah. Weather conditions could have something to do with it. But anyway, the Democrats let us down today. They voted to not shut down the government. What do you think about that? Any thoughts on that? Anybody paid any attention? If you paid it any attention, let me know what you think about it. Because I think they should have all voted no. I think they should have said no, let the government shut down. The Republicans shut the government down 3 times. And been no repercussions against them. There's been no repercussions against them. So I think the Democrats had enough people on their side. I think everybody would have knew whose fault this was. I think everybody would have knew whose fault this was. You think they really wanted to do what's right for the people and not to support Trump? Well, you know, one of the arguments was if we shut the government down, Trump is going to have more power to cut out parts of the government. This may be true. But I say Trump's going to do that anyway. He's going to try and do everything he can anyway. We know that for a fact, right? So I say shut it down and drop it in his lap. Shut it down and drop it right in his lap. Because let's face it, if it's shut down, he really can't do a whole lot, can he? And he's going to act a fool one way or the other. Now, right now, what it is you got the Democrats reaching in different places trying to hold the government together while the Republicans jam rotten ass legislation down their throat. Mike Johnson, I bet you this is what happened because the Republican House is not in town. They left town. Mike Johnson called a meeting. And he said, y'all, you know what? This is what we gonna do. We gonna put this bill through without any Democrats. And lo and behold, one Democrat did vote for it. But he told those that said, if we put this bill through, it'll shut the government down. Mike Johnson said, don't worry about that. Because the Democrats in the Senate ain't got the balls to vote against it. He said, we gonna put this bill through to the Senate and we gonna get up and go home. We ain't even gonna be in town. So they know if they vote against it, we won't even be here to negotiate anymore. And I guarantee you, the Democrats don't have the balls to vote no. And he was right. Chuck Schumer, who we're going to talk about again in a little while, Chuck Schumer didn't have the guts. He was worried about what Trump was going to get to do if they voted against it. Trump will get to do this. Trump will get to do that. Trump will be more powerful. Woe is me about Trump. La-di-da-di-da-di-da about Trump. You know, when I was working, I used to want to file cases in the union. And you know, I used to have union reps that would tell me, you know, if you do that, the company gonna do this. God damn it. Don't you argue for the company to me. Who you arguing for, me or the company? You better not file that because the company will do this. You my rep. You supposed to file what the hell I want you to file. Now he won't knock this bill down because he arguing for what Trump gonna do. Oh, Trump will get to do this. Trump will get to do that. Trump gonna step on your ass one way or the other. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm pissed. The Republicans shut the government down 3 times and didn't give a damn. You see, they still there. They're crazy as hell. All willing to do it. Democrats, scared. Just scared. No backbone. No backbone. Scared. I say, shut it down. Let it collapse. We'll see just how good they are at picking up the pieces. Let's see how good they talk all this shit about being able to govern. They didn't want to repay evil for evil. Hey, Charles, what's going on? They didn't want to repay evil for evil. I get that. I get that. But by golly, sometimes that's what you have to do to keep evil off your ass. You know what? They are all too willing. The Republicans are willing to hurt America. They will hurt Americans all day. They got a bill, that bill right now, sitting out there that cuts $800 billion, 880 with a B, out of Medicaid. Only the poorest people in the country is going to be affected by Medicaid. And then there'll be some on Medicare affected by it too, because some of the Medicaid dollars go to Medicare too. They easily hurt America. So if it's hurting America that we worried about, we're not the ones hurting America. If they would have voted against it, that would have dropped it in Trump's lap with all them lapdogs he got. And if it's shut down, he can't do a whole lot, can he? If it's shut down, there's not a lot he can do. Can he shutter some offices? Yeah. He's doing that now. Let it collapse around him. Let him be the king that he wants to be. The king of rubble. Okay? Democrats need to stop trying to be the knight in shining armor that runs to the rescue and save the world from the Republicans. Because soon as they do it, the Republicans run home and say, see how messed up it is? See how government doesn't work? After they're the ones who broke it. They break it, run home, say, see, it's broke. And see, the Democrats is in Washington trying to fix shit and getting blamed for breaking it. Man, that's got me hot. I mean hot. They got no spine. Democrats got no spine. Hit that thumbs up for me if you can. And let's kick this algorithm in the arse. They got no spine, man. No spine at all. No fight. You in a fight. The Democrats are in a fight and they don't know it. You can't be the nice guy to the guy that's going to punch your lights out, whether you nice or not. You can't be that guy. You know? You just can't, you can't be that guy. You got to be ready to fight. Because if you getting your lights punched out, who gonna save the people? Who gonna save the people? Now see, I know a lot of women out there understand why the Democrats are doing what they do. Because mothers have that instinct to save the child. See, a mother go out there and lay in front of a bus in order to save the child. We understand that. I get that, you know. But if you out there under the bus and ain't coming back from that, what happens to the child then? You know, you can't sacrifice yourself trying to save the land. You know, you've got to put your foot down at some point. At some point, you got to put your foot down. That's all I'm going to say on that. Now, you tell me. You know, you tell me. Anyway, y'all ever had dreams that was so real that you just knew it came true? You just knew it came true. Anybody had dreams like that? You know, I had a couple dreams like that. Matter of fact, I ran across a lady. I'm going to tell you about mine, but I ran across this on the old social media, and I thought this was so funny. I'm going to get off them Democrats because I'm pissed. I'm mad. I'm so mad about that. I don't know what to do. Let's send Jasmine Crockett after him. You say send Jasmine Crockett after him. Yeah. That might work. And that might actually happen. We'll see. That just might happen. I'm gonna play this young lady who just had a dream. Check this out.
Money too sweet, I bet. Money too sweet, I bet. Money too sweet, I bet.
Boy, I tell you what, dreams is something else, ain't it? Y'all, I had a dream one time that I had a white Corvette. I was laying on the couch at my mom's house, passed out, and dreamed I had a white Corvette. And I woke up and I ran out the house. I was finna go take a ride in my white Corvette. And I got outside and my damn car wasn't there. And I went back in the house and my mom asked me, she say, "What's the matter with you?" I'm looking around. I say, "Somebody stole my car." She said, "What car?" I said, "My Corvette. I need to call the police because somebody stole my Corvette." And she say, "Fool, what Corvette you talking about?" I said, "My Corvette was parked out front." She said, "You ain't had no damn Corvette." I got the phone in my hand, about to call the police. That's how bad a dream will do you. I tell you what, I had another dream too, and I can show that one to you. This is the other dream I had.
Empowered you to be a tough guy. And I don't think you'd be a tough guy without the United States.
I love it. I love it. I love it every minute. I can watch that all day. I mean, I can watch that all day. So, anyway, back to old Trump. He went into the Justice Department today and gave a campaign rally in front of his henchmen at the Justice Department, where he called the media illegal. He called the media illegal. The man is off his rocker. And it takes the best person on evening TV to tell you about it. I'm going to let Mr. O'Donnell tell you about it. Check it out.
And so America is, at this hour, completing the 52nd day of having a president of the United States whose brain does not work. Donald Trump's brain is broken, badly damaged, as he exhibits every day. And once again today, Donald Trump said something that would have gotten any other president rushed to the hospital for a neurological examination and an evaluation for dementia, for starters. That's where they would have begun. It was a vile, anti-Semitic outburst by the man who once said this after he saw a black accountant working at one of his failed casinos. Quote, "Black guys counting my money, I hate it. The only kind of people I want counting my money are short guys that wear yarmulkes every day. Those are the kind of people I want counting my money. No one else." That is how the anti-Semitic president of the United States sees Jewish men. Little short men who wear yarmulkes every day. That's Donald Trump. Donald Trump spewed this demented poison today, what the poison we will get to. It came out of him in response to this question.
Are you planning to lower corporate taxes to match Ireland's?
Well, we are planning to lower taxes, yeah, if the Democrats behave, but the Democrats have no clue.
Are you planning to lower corporate taxes like Ireland? There's Donald Trump sitting in the Oval Office today with the head of the Irish government, asked a question about corporate taxes in Ireland and the United States, which then got him rambling on for a few completely irrelevant paragraphs that could never be called an answer. And then he ended his response to that question about corporate taxes with this hateful statement about Chuck Schumer.
Schumer is a Palestinian as far as I'm concerned. You know, he's become a Palestinian. He used to be Jewish. He's not Jewish anymore. He's a Palestinian.
Not a single Republican anywhere in America who claims to be a staunch supporter of Israel and the Jewish people rose up to object to Donald Trump, declaring Chuck Schumer to not be Jewish anymore. So Donald Trump, who has no idea what it is to be Jewish or Palestinian, now decides who is Jewish in this country? Only in his own perverse, deeply perverse brain could he do that. But the disgrace of every elected Republican in Washington is that not one of them dares to complain about that kind of poison coming out of the foul mouth of Donald Trump. And not one of them worries about the mental capacity of the kind of person who can say that, who, oh, by the way, has access to the nuclear codes while he's saying things like that. Donald Trump's mind is gone. It is shattered. You just saw that. There is no recognizable neurological function going on there. Not a single person who ever tries to interpret Donald Trump for you and defensively tries to tell you what Donald Trump meant when he says something insane ever uses the actual words of Donald Trump to explain Donald Trump. Because Donald Trump, who once said, "I have the best words," says things all the time, every day, that make absolutely no sense and frequently are filled with hatred.
Now imagine that. A president that comes out every day. Yeah, hey Charles, he keeping it real. Big time. Comes out every day. This president spends every day saying something crazy. Today, earlier, it was announced that he asked his commanders, his military commanders, to come up with a plan to take the Panama Canal. Did you hear me? He asked his commanders to come up with a plan to take the Panama Canal. Now, remember, I've been asking this question for the longest. Do we have a military that will attack another country just because Donald Trump wants them to? I need to know. I would love to know that. Or would the military just split in two? Or do we have a third of people that would do it, or a third that wouldn't, and 2/3 that would? I need to know. I need to know that. That's the most important question we got right now. All the other stuff, we can write off. The question is, does he have a military that will act just on his beck and call? If they're not threatening the United States anyway, you don't think they would? Charles, I hope you're right. I hope you're right. Because that is what our military is for. Our military is not an offensive force. Okay? Our military is a defensive force. That is what our military is for. It is to defend us. It is an alliance with NATO to defend NATO countries from attack. Our country has never just decided to go attack somebody. You know? Remember when he said he could kill someone in the middle of Times Square and nothing would happen to him? Yes, Ronnie, I do remember that. And we already know, we know he has proven that to be true. Okay? He has, the only thing he hasn't done is shot somebody in the middle of Times Square. That's the only thing he ain't done. You know, Ronnie, hey, you know good and damn well he could go ahead and do that if he just felt like doing it. I'd hate to be, Letitia James, walking across the street from his building, and he just happened to have a pistol. You remember when he bought that Glock down there at the gun store, and ain't supposed to have no gun as a felon. Ain't supposed to have no gun. James, you say the military will follow orders. Well, some of them will. But that's my point. I want to know just how many will. I am dying to see him try this, because this is the most important question that's left unanswered. This is the most important question that is left unanswered. You tell me, I mean, that would be crazy. That would be the craziest thing. If our entire military marched into a war. Now, understand, and I had this conversation earlier. Imagine our military being told, attack Panama. The swastika people would. Yes. Yes, we know the swastika people would. Yes, we do know that. We know the January 6th clowns that got out would. We know the Proud Boys. And let me ask you a question. This just occurred to me. The Proud Boys. Don't that sound like the gayest name you ever heard? Like the Pride Boys. The boys. The Pride Boys. I'm sorry. I digress. But yes, we know the Oath Keepers, you know. All them guys, oh, they would love to fight for Donald Trump. They would love to. The thing is, here's the kicker. Okay? They like to run around America talking shit. They like to run up and down the streets of USA where they know the average person ain't got a gun and ain't expecting them. The people in Panama, they scared right now. He's warned them. They scared. Now let me ask you this. How many of them would leave the country, go into another country with the purpose of taking something from them that does not belong to us? Okay? These people ain't bullshit. They waiting. They may have the smallest army on the earth. But how many American troops, okay, how many of the Proud Boys, the Oath Keepers, them clowns that got out of jail free, how many of them would leave America and go into another country just to try and take something for Donald Trump? And you fighting somebody in their country and they pissed. Okay? That's the question I got. That's the question I got. And Donald Trump is dying to know this himself. He wants to know. Anytime you got a fool talking about taking Panama, making Canada the 51st state, taking Greenland, we're going to get Greenland, we're going to take Gaza. He wants to know. He wants to know how many people will fight for him. Sounds like something that happened years ago. The Europeans. Yup. Absolutely. You're absolutely right. That's a European thing. Europeans love to take other folks' shit. They love it. Tell you what. I tell you how bad it is. Y'all know. Hey, Lisa, what's happening? Hey, that happens. Everybody loses track of time sometime. Hey, y'all know. I don't know if you know or not. But, hey, Carmen. All knowledge, it's been proven, all knowledge started in Africa. The Africans was the smart people. The Africans started with all of the mathematics, the science, all of the philosophy, all of that started in Africa. And then you had the Europeans come along. They studied in Africa. They learned in Africa and picked up all of the knowledge they could get from Africa and went back and, spreaded knowledge. Understand something. Back in the beginning of days, knowledge was like currency. Only the people that had the knowledge, the people who were the brains, the philosophers, the mathematicians, the engineers who figured stuff out, those were the important people. And they guarded that knowledge. As soon as the Europeans came, the Africans taught them that knowledge. And when they got that knowledge, the first thing they did was claimed it as theirs and said they didn't learn shit from Africa. We already knew this. We made all this up ourselves. That was the first theft. Okay? That's the first theft. We stealing all this knowledge that you gave us and claiming it as ours. And so there. Y'all didn't know nothing. So from then on, the Africans were stupid and us Europeans know everything. And everywhere we go, we are discovering stuff. Never mind all the people that's already there. We're discovering stuff. Okay. We discovered America. We discovered Mexico. We discovered all of the Caribbean. We discovered it. Damn all them black people that's all over the place. Because black people were everywhere. Okay? Anyway, I digress. They love to steal shit. Just to get back on point, they love to steal shit. I want to know how many people would steal for Donald Trump, would go to a country and steal for Donald Trump. I'm dying to know. You tell me. Tell you what. The other day, I brought up Steve Leisman because I was watching CNBC and I saw Steve Leisman say that what Donald Trump is doing is insane. And I thought to myself, oh my God. Because I followed some of Steve Leisman's reporting over the year, and he's a very smart guy. You say, we gonna find out, huh? Hey, James, I want to know. I want to know. For real. But let's let Mr. O'Donnell introduce Steve Leisman again, because he can introduce it way better than I did. I didn't give it quite as good an introduction, what Steve Leisman thought. Let's check it out.
On CNBC yesterday, the normally mild-mannered, very pro-business Steve Leisman used a word I've never heard him use before in his analysis of the economy or the stock market or anything else. It was the word insane, and he applied it to Donald Trump.
I'm going to say this at risk of my job, Kelly, but what President Trump is doing is insane. It is absolutely insane. It is about the 8th reason we've had for the tariffs, and now he's saying he's putting 50% tariffs on Canada unless they agree to become the 51st state. That is insane. There is just no other way of describing it.
That's enough for Donald Trump to call Steve Leisman a Palestinian. That's enough for Donald Trump to say he's not Jewish anymore. Steve Leisman is not a short guy with a yarmulke. So maybe Donald Trump thinks Steve Leisman doesn't know what he's talking about when it comes to anything financial or economic. It took an insane person to make Steve Leisman use the word insane in describing what Donald Trump is doing to the economy and the stock market with his tariffs. And it took an insane person to say Schumer is a Palestinian as far as I'm concerned. You know, he's become a Palestinian. He used to be Jewish. He's not Jewish anymore. He's a Palestinian. Okay? That's what Donald Trump's last word was. Okay? No, not okay. And it's not okay that we live in a country where that is not a story. It is not okay where the New York Times, which is read by more Jewish people than any other newspaper in the world, doesn't have a story about the President of the United States deciding that the Senate Democratic leader is not Jewish anymore. Once again, imagine what the New York Times would do if Joe Biden had said that. How many inches high would the headline be on page one about Joe Biden or any other president saying that? But Donald Trump's most insane statements, including the ones filled with bigotry and hatred, now just slip through the cracks, the very big cracks in the American news media. And most people in Israel and most people in the world, most people in America, most Jewish people will not know that the only president of the United States in history who can legitimately be described as insane has decided and announced that Chuck Schumer is not Jewish anymore. And we're told we have to select our outrage with Donald Trump. I understand that. We can't be outraged at everything we're told. I guess that's true. But the problem with that approach is that too many reporters and too many members of the news media are learning not to be outraged by anything. And that is exactly what happened in the Oval Office today, because when Donald Trump finished saying he's a Palestinian, and then he turned to the reporters saying, okay, meaning I'm ready to take another question, not one of them said a word to him about what he just said about Chuck Schumer.
Now, let's talk about the media. Just like Mr. O'Donnell just said, every reporter in the room heard the man say that, and not one of them said a damn thing about it. Not one. Which brings me back to my original point. The Democrats should have stood on business today, let it shut down, let this fool say whatever he want to say, because nobody challenges what he says. All of the reporters will stand in the room with him and just be happy to be in the room. They won't challenge anything, because if you challenge him, you might get left off the list and not be allowed to be in the room. And our media is happy just being in the room. Wonder when the media got like that. The way they just happy being in the room with this guy. Who cares how much crazy shit he say? I'm just happy being in the room. Don't put me out the room. Just let me ask you a question. Give me any kind of answer. I don't care what the answer is. Just let me be in the room. That's why the Democrats should have shut it down. Democrats should have shut the motherfucker down. Because this is what we got. This is what we got. How many times have you seen it? On the campaign trail, no matter where the guy is. They ask him a question and he will lie. He will say the craziest thing and nobody will challenge him on it. The man sat there and said, Chuck Schumer is a Palestinian now. Hey, anybody remember Kamala? All of a sudden, she decided she's going to be black this week. What? What? He will say anything. And nobody would challenge him about it. It's over. You know, yeah, he said that. That should have been front page. That should have been on every news program. I tell you what. I'm offended when I turn on the news in the morning, and it doesn't even matter what show it is. It don't matter what news show it is. You give me 2 minutes. Donald Trump did such and such and such and such. And moving on to a cat was rescued out of the tree by the firemen. The Girl Scouts are selling cookies down on Archer Avenue. Hey, let's stick to the important stuff. You know, the country coming down around us. Once you silence the media, you have total control. Yeah, James, you're right. You got control over what they put out. And again, I tried to make that point on an earlier podcast. Remember, at the inauguration, who was in the front row behind him? Jeff Bezos. Amazon, Washington Post. He bought the Washington Post and told them they could not endorse Kamala Harris. Remember, they were going to endorse Kamala Harris. Told them they couldn't do it. And just recently told the editorial page, you cannot print anything against this current administration. You can only post stuff that's in favor of this administration. That's what Jeff Bezos told his editors at the Washington Post. So if you read the Washington Post, you throw that shit in the garbage now. Okay? Tim Cook. Okay? Apple. Front row. Behind him. Of course, Elon Musk. And then you had Google. And then you had all of them. Mr. Zuckerberg. You had all of them in the front row. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, everybody was in the front row. You know? You silence the media or take it over and just put out what you want, you know, it to put out, which is your point, James. And that's the plan. That's obviously the plan. So, they should have shut it down. They should have shut this government down, broke it like it ain't never been broke before. Let the Republicans pick up the pieces. Let's see what you got. Yeah, Charles. That's all they gonna do is give out fake news. That's all they gonna do. The billionaires have taken over. And the Democrats just gave them just put a patch on a sore. They put a patch on cancer today. This country got cancer and they just put a Band-Aid on it today. What the fuck? The country got cancer. And they walked in the operating room with a Band-Aid. There, that's better. Man, I'm hotter than a fresh turd. No backbone. Democrats got no backbone. If I was Chuck Schumer, I would have did it just on GP. Motherfucker called me a Palestinian. Oh, I'm a Palestinian, huh? Oh, I'm part of Hamas, huh? Watch this, motherfucker. That's what I'd have did. No backbone. Jesus. Hey, one of y'all got a joint I can get off of you? You know? Maybe I'll email Elon, see if he can send me a hit of that shit he's shooting up. They worried about they'll blame us for shutting the government down. They'll blame us. Everybody know who's screwing the country up. Everybody know it. How they gonna blame you? Woo. Anyway, sorry about that. But this was a bad day. Right, ain't no secret. Ain't no secret. This was a bad day for America. This is a bad day. Because America gets to struggle along, suffer a little more, and, you know, die a little slower. We get to stay on this train that's going down the tracks, coming off the tracks in slow motion, while we sit there. Oh my God. It's gonna crash. Please crash so I can stop being frazzled. Anyway, all right. I'm gonna call it good, y'all. It's Friday. 52 days of bad. Ronnie, 52 days of bad. And counting. 52 days of bad. That sounds like the title for a movie. And the Democrats could have just showed a little backbone. And Chuck Schumer, who I put in the same category, for anybody that has followed politics as long as I have, you may remember a guy named Harry Reid. Harry Reid used to be the Democratic Senate Majority Leader. I want to tell you, you talk about a soft underbelly. Mitch McConnell used to run rings around Harry Reid. Mitch McConnell had Harry Reid chasing his own tail all day, every day. And we got another Harry Reid. Got another Harry Reid. Yeah, I wish it was just a movie too. You know, I tell you, and the sad part, the Democrats in the House, and of course there was one of them, had to peel off and vote for the bill for the same reason. I don't want to be the one to shut the government down. Shut your ass up. But the rest of the Democrats held fast and said no. Shut it down. Y'all been shutting it down. Shut it down. They got to be just as hot as me. I would just love to hear some of the conversations. They got to be just as hot as me. Man, every step of the way, the Democrats fold. They just fold. So anyway, okay, I give. Maybe something spectacular happened over the weekend. You know, a meteor hit the planet. Russia will attack the U.S. Something good. You know, something good. A funny thing, speaking of Russia, you see what old Putin thought about Trump's ceasefire ideas? He goes, yeah, ceasefire. Yeah, hold my drink. Putin said, hold my drink while I put this Russian military uniform on and go out to the front line. Yeah, hold my drink. Yeah, ceasefire. Yeah. I like it. While he walked on the front line and said, yeah, that dumpski out there. Talk about ceasefire. I got your ceasefire right here. Man, come on. Oh, my goodness. So, anyway, I'm going to get off of here. I do appreciate y'all hanging with me again. You know, I hope this weekend is great for y'all. I'm going to try to get something going this weekend, some kind of exercise or something. You know, get off my butt. Today was a warm day. I got a chance to go outside and just get some sun and fresh air. It was up in the 70s today. Man, felt good. I hope you all have a great weekend. You know, come back and hang out with me Monday at 7 p.m. I am going to try and find something uplifting to talk about. I'm going to make an attempt. Can't guarantee nothing. But hopefully these fools won't do nothing crazy over the weekend. Oh, one last thing. Another plane came down, caught fire. Y'all hear about that? Landed in Denver and caught fire on the ground. Crazy. Be careful with them airplanes. Okay? I only fly Airbus. I gave up Boeing. Anyway, you all have a good evening, good weekend, and I'll see y'all Monday, 7 p.m. sharp. Y'all have a good one. Take it easy.